Okay, fellas, we're up and running. What I've got here, I've gone back to the single wires filling these caps, and I've got the 5 sets of the coil groups. I got all 5 of the coils wound. Now, whatever. Anyway, doesn't matter. They're all connected. Each of them is now connected in parallel, putting out about 300 to 400 volt spikes. I tried using resonance and tuning them, but they actually were fighting with each other, and I only got 100 volts, basic, just a sort of a sine wave going to the bridge rectifiers. And the single wire down here goes to each of these caps. I've got about 3,362 on one, and then I've got almost 4,000 on the other one. The battery, I don't know if you can see this, I'll try to get it in there a little closer. And so the battery's still at 12.4 like it was the other day. Maximum level going into the battery is 13. Minimum is 12.8, 12.6. And the peak to peak is what's giving you the min and max. That's 1 to 1.2 volts peak to peak. And so that's what we got. Right now I'm done basically with this setup. The next step is to find out what I want to do with the caps. I want to get, actually I can adjust the NE55 timer to take this up between 5,000 and 6,000 on the 750 turns that are inside this coil. And I'm only using circuit, let me see, I think I'm using circuit B, I think, is the only one being driven on the road, and coil A is just floating out in the air out here. I'm not bringing the 60 turn, 2 60-turn coils into the rejuvenated battery. I'm going to do that if I need it to keep the, if it stays at 12.4, and I'm just going to let it run now for 24 hours straight and just see what the battery does. If the battery continues for 1 or 2 days at 12.4, hey man, I'm going to then replace the battery with the Farad type cap banks, and which can handle up to 48 volts, but I want to try to keep it at 12, between 12 and say 15 or something, because that way the everything can handle it, so whatever. And I want to go with some larger caps in here and get a lot more voltage in there, and then transform that into some kind of usable energy. Anyway, one thing I did notice the other day, when I measured the current going out of the battery to the system was 0.141 amps. When I measured it going from the system back into the battery, and the meter was connected right, it would read positive or negative, didn't really matter, read 0.000. Yeah, that was kind of strange. And so I'm not sure what the hell's keeping up the battery. Probably the cold electricity, which the meter won't read. And so I've got some analog meters on order, and we'll try those and see what those show. And it's basically working the same with the Tesla hairpin circuit that I built, where you can run a light bulb underwater with your hand in the water at just, at the right frequencies, obviously. And I literally blew out the filament out of my light bulb, and guess what? The light bulb had vacuum in it, so it simply continued to burn, just like Tesla's tubes did, with no filament at all in them, just a little ruby end of the wire, or just at the end of the wire. And so I saw some pretty good light coming out of that one. Anyway, I'll see you later. Have a good one. So, one wire charging. Awesome.